Howdy, hombres! My name's L.A.zy. I welcome you all back to the letter. In the last episode, everyone has been brought together in order to face off against this curse that they've been fighting off against. Everyone has had their fair share of encounters with the ghost, and now they banded, in the last episode, they banded together in order to find out how exactly to deal with this threat. But of course, the ghost didn't stay inactive. She actually chased us down into Isabella's apartment and almost got Ash. We got away in time. We got out of there. I don't know where exactly we went, but now we're on Monday, where I do remember exactly Ashton has to give off the files for the case that he was working on. So with that already told, let's get into this. A dreary downpour starts off on Monday. Although it doesn't last for more than an hour, dark clouds lift just after the sun peaks over the horizon. Brief as it is, the rain has significantly dampened the park's usually cheery vibe. Oh, damn it. Mornings like this often mark the start of another bad week. Oh, I can imagine. An arrest gone wrong, another investigation leading to a dead end, and some truly fucked up shit being called in. Like that one time I was dispatched to a scene where a guy gashed his own eyeball out and almost ate it. Oof. I was a few chews away from swallowing it, in fact. Lost my dinner that day.
Fun times.
Of course, I doubt anything can top getting cursed by a damn chain letter of all things. This is the sort of stupid thing people pass along as a prank through emails and text messages, for fuck's sake. A ghost chasing after you just puts the icing on the cake. So far, all we've done is run, snoop about, read stuff, and run again. It frustrates me to no end how we're still no close to an answer. Even my car reflects the state that my mind is in. Photocopies of documents litter every available surface, scattered all over the place, spilling from the passenger side and onto the back seat, making an entire mess of the little space there is. Not that I'm any better. My last shower was 24 hours ago. I haven't slept at all, and my last meal was chocolate porridge thing Isabella offered. The way I am now, I'll definitely get a scolding. Rebecca will definitely give me an earful to tell me to take care of myself better. Say that I'm killing myself on the job. What's with all these story updates? Branching tree. Let's see what we got. I'm pretty certain we're still far a ways to go. Only 6% away. Whoa! We ignored shitloads of stuff, didn't we? But it all converges into this one path. Oh boy. I mean, it might look long, but in reality, it's just, it takes way less time to actually finish a chapter. But so far, Hannah's been the most that we've unlocked, though. Zachary. Wait, let's see Isabella. Question, comment, wrap. It's a shame that this branching tree doesn't show like exactly what the questions are. You're supposed to remember everything. QTE game over. I think we had a QTE also as well. We failed that. Anyway, enough of checking the branch tree out. I can already hear Isabella complaining how dark the bags under my eyes are getting. How about I reek and how I need to shower pronto.
I can rest easy when this is all over.
It's not that I can't feel the pang of hunger. With that woman chasing after you, it's difficult not to feel anything when in horror. The rush of adrenaline coursing through my veins and my desperation to survive. The fact that I can still sense the ghost of her touch from last night. Her bony digits wound tightly around my ankle, and that horrid smile she has on her as she pulls me closer. Memory is enough to send a shiver up my spine and make me antsy. Perhaps the only thing comforting about this is the sight of my gun nearby. Ooh, that's a nice looking gun, by the way. I can't remember what model this is, though. It reminds me of not a Browning HP, but a Springfield 2000. Or maybe it could be something else. For my dashboard, sunlight glints off Ophelia's surface. That's what you called her? Oh, that's adorable. Normally, I keep it hidden in the compartment. Woodsborne police regulation only allows authorized people to carry firearms, and even those are limited. I do have that authorization, but I never really saw the need for its use when the standard issue tasers are more than good enough to incapacitate anyone. If not, I can always throw them throw them on their back. Those judo lessons Dad forced me to get as a kid has its uses too. On the ghost, though, all of those will probably yield the same result. They're all useless. Might as well use a stick. However, it's the feeling of ease I'm after, or what little of it I can gather from it. The awareness that I, at least, have something to protect myself with in case things go wrong. That I can still protect the people who are still depending on me despite the missteps I've taken. It doesn't take the edge off, though. The feeling that your whole body has been strained far beyond its capacity. Frankly, I'm already running out of steam. The only thing pushing me right now is knowing someone's still depending on me. The stretch is still in order, though. I've been sitting here since last night. Soon step out from my car, closing it behind me with a thud as I take in my surroundings. The rain did wonders. The morning air feels crisper and cooler than it has ever been in days. For once, the weather seems to be taking a turn for the normal. Looks more normal and looks more normal. In the distance beyond the buildings lining the horizon, dark clouds are blowing in.
A storm might be due this evening, give or take.
A shame for the people looking forward to Halloween tonight. I'm just not sure whether this is something I can look forward to as well. Still, I bask in the change it brings. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in, taking in the peace, as if it will be my last. But with all the good things, quiet shortly comes to an end. Not necessarily a bad end. Chatter reaches my ears first, holding my movements. Sure enough, when I glance up, I find them. Zach, Rebecca, and Isabella, just as they've entered the park grounds, bags of convenience store food in hand. After last night's flight from Salem, we elected to stay the night here, unsure if our own homes would be safe. Normally, we'd be adverse to the idea of spending the night outside like this, but panic and distress esteemed that decision. It's not like any of us has gotten an ounce of sleep anyway. On the off chance one of us did, it only lasted but a second, or it's a fitful one. Looking at them right now, from afar, it's easy to mistake them for just a group of friends on a day out. Isabel's gesturing wildly with her arms as she talks. Something funny or amusing probably, because it's soon followed by Zach's booming laughter and Rebecca's giggles. Their voices fill the atmosphere with light air, temporarily easing off the disheartening mood. It's easy to pretend we're not knee-deep in a life-and-death situation the way they're acting now. If anything, it's only their appearance that betrays that mask. Slightly disheveled, bags under their eyes, an exhausted curve in their shoulders, and dragging footsteps. The closer they get, the more obvious these signs are to the naked eye. Zach tosses his energy drink my way the moment the distance allows it. Isabella hands me the other bag she's holding before seeing herself on the edge of the fountain. The scent of warm food immediately wafts from the bag when I open it, carried further by a passing breeze. Whatever sweet sauce they drizzled all over this pork wannabe, it smells heavenly. Hell, even the sorry-looking vegetables seem appetizing. Despite myself without even checking exactly what this is, hunger swiftly takes over every rational thought. I dig in without waiting for them to start. The rest of them appear to be on the same mind, too. Soon enough, they also start with theirs. No casual talk where we fill our empty stomachs. Exhausted as we all are, food is something we can't forgo. Starvation dulls the thinking, weakens the body. If we are to survive this, we're going to have to take care of ourselves first. In a matter of minutes, we're done dumping the empty cartons of a nearby waste bin. On a nearby waste bin. Along with it is the shifting mode. Back to dismal, back to the problem at hand. Comfortable atmosphere for minutes ago was nice while it lasted. Admittedly, I missed these kinds of moments between us. We never had the chance, always busy on some project or work. Things we've taken for granted, now we're realizing how valuable they are. The world has an awful sense of humor. Well, the one we've just had short-lived. It's another thing I want to look forward to. We are to free ourselves from this damn curse. I'd like to believe there is a way. For now, we have to focus back on the present. This. Dead people. The letter. The curse. It's not simple to bring these up, but necessary.
What now? Where do we go from here?
It's not a question directed to anyone in particular, but they all look to me as if my face has all the answers in the world. I used to think so, back when I was at the top of my game. I'm still sure of everything. Now it's just uncertainly sullying whatever decision I come up with. At some point, logic has simply stopped working here, and we've started grasping at straws. Along with exhaustion, fatigue, and stress, we've had enough killing to get a fire burning. Oh shit. Don't tell me you guys are gonna argue. You're not so pleasant kind of flyer.
Well, first, we can't just stay here. That much is obvious.
But we can't just keep running like this either, Becca. Sooner or later, she'll...
As if we have a choice. We can't even go back to our own homes because that thing might get
This
us.
does not look good. The last thing I want is them breaking up over this.
No, we're safe. But dying is the last thing I want to do right now, Isabella. Not to a stupid chain letter you were too gullible to pick up, bring with you, and show to everyone.
Don't piss off Becca. Don't piss off Bella, or she's gonna make that face again.
I didn't do it on purpose. Becca, had I known, I wouldn't have.
Hey, you two. None of us want to die to this. Just calm down. We ain't getting anywhere shouting
He's
at each
right.
other.
Whose side are you on, Zachary?
No one's. But we can't just say it's her fault. She did warn us not to open it. And both you and Ashton...
That doesn't exempt her from any blame. She's still largely responsible for it.
And you're not.
Oh boy, I absolutely dislike that face of hers. It pours into my soul more than the ghost can ever do in a single showing. Oh Jesus.
I didn't say that! Do you really think I don't blame myself for this as
Guys, seriously, stop. This is what the ghost wants. Really.
I tried to warn all of you. None of you listened. Now you're blaming me for something I kept telling you guys since day one.
I am absolutely scared of that face that she makes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm terrified of that face.
You're just as responsible for this as I am.
And I think she's the only one who does that face, like, when her pupils turn black. I think out of everyone, she's the only one who does that. But Luke actually does that as well, but it's on the other routes completely.
So now you're throwing it back at us? We wouldn't even be having this problem if you're...
Will you two cut it out? This ain't the place for I don't know, petty squabbles.
Zach is getting angry.
If you don't want to get caught in it, then stay out of this, Zachary.
Oh no, Zach. Don't stop her. Let her say it. I'm sure she has plenty more to say. If I didn't know any better, she's already.
Already what? You want me to say it? Out loud? That I find you in this whole thing?
All right, that's enough.
Exactly.
Everyone, shut up.
They all faltered to silence at my words, and an awkward, stifling mood descends between us. I do not mean to shout, snap at them, to add to that kindling, not in a moment when any time, anywhere she might get one of us. We're on the same boat, yet here we are playing the blame game. Little by little we're falling apart, caving into the pressure, to the bleak situation we're all trapped in. Don't keep falling for it, guys, please. You're adorable as friends. Please don't fall apart. For me, guys, please. Did that ghost Yes, the ghost meant for this to happen. That's how manipulative she is. That ghost meant for this to happen, to divide us so she can pick us off one by one right after? Who knows? Anything's possible now if her kind can exist. The fire burning between us rising as high as it does now, I'm afraid. Deathly afraid. But the possibility might come sooner that I can figure all this out. Fuck, I still can't think straight. I can't believe the next words coming out of my own mouth. Out of everyone, I have to be the one saying these to them. This is more their forte than mine, keeping the peace, saving everyone, while I unintentionally aggravate people with badly chosen words. Funny how fast the tables have turned after just some one unfortunate incident. How am I even supposed to cope?
If we all want to get out of this mess in one piece, we're gonna have to cool our heads first.
Whew. After spending the night at a local park, Ashton and his friends tried to figure out what the next step would be. However, coupled with the fatigue and stress, the conversation quickly went downhill. Frustrated, Ashton walked out, suggesting we cool their heads first. I'm not liking the music that plays here. For my own temper flares, I walk away and slide back to my car. The door slams with more force than needed. I like to blame it on the pent-up anger boiling up in me. I'm not even sure what or who I'm angry at. The ghost? Them? Me and myself for being this useless. Because despite none of them saying it, I know, goddammit, they're still counting on me. Despite my failures, or every harsh word I've uttered, or how unbearable I can be as a friend. It's there with the tension after the argument finally breaks, and one by one they follow me and get into the car. It's in concerned glances they shoot my way when I start the engine without a word and drive off. It's in their silence, a heavy gift, their unwavering trust. Yet it's what I'm more than willing to carry, even though my own exhaustion, only to keep them safe. In a city of 68,000 strangers, they're the only ones I have left. What next then? Though in all seriousness, a good rest is still our best bet for now. Thinking with an exhausted brain is almost as good as running around in circles. Might as well just throw ourselves at that ghost and be done with this. The local Irish pub may not be the best place to hang around when one hasn't slept a wink if you're stressed. More often than not, it's loud. Sometimes the music played by drunkards grates the ears and the whole place smells like piss on a bad day. All in all, it's their definition of the last place I'll hang around after a wakeful night, but it's safe. Or safe as it can be with the G security watching the place. Makes it easy to find help in case you'll find yourself in a tight spot. The place being owned by a person I've implicitly placed my trust on provides more semblance of comfort too. Gregor, bartender G, or just G to his regular patrons, might be rough around the edges. Sometimes a bit too gruff of a man serving drinks behind the counter, but he belongs to the good folk of the city. If there's anyone in this place I can rely on to look after people important to me, it's probably him. He means well, surprisingly, despite his surly demeanor. He cares to some extent, but people he likely only sees once or twice a week when on a bad day. Not the best job in the world in my opinion, but that's exactly it, isn't it? In wine there is truth, alcohol in this case. It loosens the tongue, forces one to let his or her guard down. Whatever inhibitions anyone has, they'll fly straight out the window after a few glasses. It's made him observant too, always has one or two things to say about someone or something. Most of the time it's me, opinionated ass. But God knows how many times I've asked for his help when I've met a dead end in the case where I'm in trouble. This time's no different. Let's see what Mr. Gregor has. But damn, that was intense the last minute or so. But I'm guessing that kind of makes sense. If I was up for like several days, knowing that a ghost haunts me, wants to kill me, I'd probably snap at everyone. I mean, but that's exactly what the ghost actually wants. She wants to split us up, take us off one by one, so that curse of her can be completed in a way. As expected, the moment we show up, he's kind enough to offer us a room in the back of the shop. He seemed to look at my face and don't even need to say anything. Next thing we know, he's leading us in. No questions asked. Maybe it's also for this reason why I find myself drifting towards the station hours later, after having gotten that much needed shut-eye. Newly washed drinking glasses and tumblers line the counter's surface when I enter the room. Behind the bar, G's busy wiping each of them clean and likely prepping it for tonight's use. Briefly, he glances up at me once I claim one of the empty stools and grab a rocks glass sitting closest to my elbow. Treating it absent-mindedly in my palm just to keep my hands occupied while my brain is busy, still trying to make sense of everything. Even at a dead hour, with only a few patrons milling about, this place still smells strongly of liquor. Honestly, I've never grown fond of it, regardless of how many times I made a trip or sat there on the same point just talking with the old man. I've never been fond of drinking in the first place. Yet oddly, it's the nasty odor of a brewery that helps clear the mind this time. Along with the lack of the establishment's usual hubbub of the occasional clinking of glasses. Even more bizarre is that, though my lack of words, G doesn't say anything. Though it's clear from the way his mouth is curved up in a tight frown, he has questions, a bucket load of it. He wisely keeps it shut. Instead, he simply focuses back on his work. Rinse, swipe, stash away, repeat. Going through the motions with such familiarity, it's almost a trance. Watching his precise movements quietly like this, with these thoughts swimming inside my head, it's easy to lose track of everything around me. One solid lead on this, one possible way to sort this out, but will it work? Especially my assumptions correct and that the reason Zach was there yesterday morning was because of the curse. Something must have happened there for him to see the end, needing to visit the place that morning. With a couple of small victims to the curse too. It doesn't fall outside the realm of the possibility. I've been so biased, not even thinking that it might be in danger as well. But during the open house with Isabella, they might have seen the letter and... fuck.
Stupid, stupid, stupid. Some fucking detective I am.
Come on, don't start blaming yourself. That's likely the moment when Cooper saw it. If the logic holds, I need to hurry there right away. If there are answers anywhere, it will be there. It should be there. Where all of this fucking mess started. It's not only my life on the line here, there are others. What happened to us? No wish on anyone else, no matter how much I love them, or how complicated all of this has suddenly become. The letter, the woman, the mansion, and now there are voices lacing venom inside every crevice in my head. Murmurs that jeer, scoff, and deride wherever an opportunity presents itself.
It's because you didn't listen.
It's all your fault. Why won't you believe me?
A reminder of what I failed to do and of who I failed. At some point they all begin to blur together, twining and coiling. Every horrid image and memory of her is seeking to the forefront of my mind. No matter how much I refuse to remember the fear I felt then, to push it as far as back as I can, the visions come to me like a deluge. Before I know it, before I can drown, a little voice pulls me out of it.
You doing good there, boy?
His hand is on my shoulders, gripping it tightly and giving me a slight shake. Oh, the bartender. There's relief in his face when I finally look up at him, although his frown appears more distinct and concern in his eyes. It's deeper now, marked with worry and agitation. He does let go when I offer him a small nod, but the furrow between his eyebrows never leaves his face. He always has a knack for reading people, after all, even someone who can be as closed off and distant like me. In all the time spent in the force, there's only one other person who is as keen as this old guy, the chief. Funny and weird to some degree. I pointed out to him so many times before how much they look alike, only for the observation to be brushed off with a vehement tone. I've never brought it up again after the third time. I have respect for the guy. Whatever it is, it's clear it's something he doesn't want to talk about. Why push, right? However, during times like this, it's impossible for the thought not to come up. He even has the glare down pat. Under this worthless scrutiny, I feel like a damn rookie again.
You're looking a bit green. Sure you got plenty of rest back there? You were only out for an hour or two. Wouldn't hurt to try and get some sleep. I'll keep an eye out.
No need. Don't worry about me. I won't be able to get some sleep anyway.
Not with her face still a clear picture in my head, no.
I heard that from you before. Not buying it. What's the story this time? This as bad as that case with the guy who ate his own eyeball?
I wish it were. Jesus, stop reminding me. I hated that case. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you get a kick out of telling people about it.
It's useful, you know, for blokes who don't know their limits. Sends them right out the door after I start with the description. Or was it the part when the poor schmuck gouged his eyes out? Nasty, awful, icky stuff, and it gets the job done. Like I said, useful.
Is there a reason he gouged his eye out, though? Could it be connected to the cases? Or maybe it's probably some throwaway gag, I don't really know.
Don't even need to call security these days if I want to kick someone out. Anyway, pretty sure that pales in comparison to whatever this is now. I haven't seen you this stressed out since they closed that case. The one from 10 years ago with your professor friend.
Abigail and her team weren't able to solve that one, G. No one has been able to. It just went cold.
Same difference. But what do I know, eh? I just serve drinks, listen to people's problems and their whining, then make sure they get home safe afterwards.
Aren't you a swell guy? Oh, damn it, my gloves comes loose again.
Thing is, I'm also not blind, kiddo. And you can bet your ass I can tell when a person's about to fall apart.
What? Is this some form of therapy from you? Are you going to offer me free drinks now?
Really, I can use some right now. Something to numb the senses. When has that helped anyone?
Ha! In your dreams, kid. Last time someone gave you the hard stuff, your photographer friend had to haul you out of this place almost half naked.
Hey, I can handle my liquor when I put my mind to it.
Not from what I've seen, nope. Besides, you usually avoid drinking. Either way, it's out of the equation. And when booze no longer counts, we just talk. So, talk. It's not like anyone within earshot will care. That chap over there only wants his cricket matches.
I doubt you believe it, G.
I've heard worse stuff. Try me.
You know that mansion down at Anslum?
Yeah, who doesn't? You live in this town long enough, it's impossible not to hear a thing or two about it. Bloody locals.
Well, my friend found a primitive version of a chain letter in there. Now that we've seen it, we're cursed.
A beat passes. For a long moment, she stands there unmoving. His hand stops short of placing the glasses been winding prior back to a rack on his left. All while he stares at me with eyes that are nothing short of scrutinizing. Probably assumes I'm joking. Who wouldn't? Not a week ago, been put in the same position. Even now, in spite of the things I've seen and heard, it simply won't sink in. Or maybe this is desperation creeping in. The idea that I may not be able to find a way out of this. Whatever the case is, for people who hasn't experienced what I'm going through, this will merely sound like an awful Halloween prank.
It's not a prank.
This must have been what Isabella felt the whole time and made fun of her that day.
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Now it's too late. We're stuck in a never-ending nightmare where the only way out might be death. And like I've expected G's reaction to it, an amused laughter. It booms through the whole pub after a long bout of silence, like I've just told him a particularly funny joke.
Okay. Good one, kid. You don't want to spill. No one's forcing you. Seriously, though. Good one.
Although I want to be angry with him, I can't find it in myself. I can't even muster the energy for a scowl or a glare. Nothing but a taste of my own medicine to temper the annoyance bubbling up in me, I suppose. In the end, echoing her words is the best I can do.
It's not a joke.
Yeah, all right. Good luck with that. You're on your own. Here, I thought you didn't have an ounce of humor in that body. Guess I'm wrong.
He shakes his head, lets out another chuckle before returning to his task. By now, almost half of the glasses have been put away. The only ones remaining are the smaller kind used for shots and the stemmed ones for cocktails. Despite being busy with his task, his amusement does not entirely disappear from his face. He keeps talking as if I'm simply another customer he entertains with his stories. But Mork knows more than that, if the wistful expression on him says anything.
Man, can't believe you're the same rookie who walked in here almost a decade ago. Too smart for his own good, that boy. He's always been 2 steps ahead of things. Now he's here, sulking.
I must have screwed up somewhere then.
I must have screwed up a lot. For things to suddenly shift like this, for me to become a mere shadow of the person I used to be.
No, I don't think so. This one, screwed up? Not by a mile. It's too early to say. You've still got several years ahead of you, Holmes. Take it easy. But some things change, eh? It has been years, and you were a kid back then. You know, the sort that's a bit unsure. Making all the horrible decisions in life he'd eventually be embarrassed to talk about.
You never stop calling me kid, though.
Well, you still are. It's just that this time, you're sure of who that badge and gun is for. What was it you police types usually say? To protect and serve, yeah?
A significant pause follows at its heels. For both of us, he allows its meaning to sink in and spur something in me, stirring a feeling both heavy and forceful, but not completely unwelcome. Familiar. Okay, let's see what the journal has to say. After the argument at the park, Ashton took his friends someplace where they could rest. G welcomed them to his pub without question. While the others were sleeping, the detective and the bartender had a little chat about the past and what had changed over the years. Yeah, after that argument, wow. But before I can even clarify what he was trying to imply or gather my thoughts on the matter, G turns away to begin his work on the silverwares. I need those too. Once more of his patrons came coming for lunch, slow and easy. Sharp contrast with the strained air we've been waiting through these past weeks. Fleeting moment, but one I allow myself to relish, if only because of its absence lately. The way things are now, this is almost a gift. So when it all ends with a loud shuffling of foot from the adjacent hallway, a sigh is all that leaves me. There's no need for me to look up to know who it is. Zach's treads alone are telling. There's always a way that's set to them, steps that are taken with lazy cadence. Like he's always trying to make himself smaller, less conspicuous than he actually is. In places unfamiliar with, he also tends to linger or stand awkwardly at the sides, as if he's too afraid to break something. That or he's waiting for permission of some kind. Either way, he's never been the kind to barrel headfirst into things or forgo courtesy despite appearances. Much like how Rebecca's mother hen belies her fiery temperament, or Isabella's rare displays of maturity appears at odds with her youth. There's been a lot of those in my life. There's been a lot of those in my life, it seems. More so from the people I've grown closer to over the years. Walking contradictions we all are. It's a wonder how we ended up as friends in the first place. And maybe that's also exactly why. To some extent there's still an understanding in there, and knowing. No matter how long you've been together, or how familiar you are with a person's habits, how many lifetimes there might be for all of you, you can never fully know a person. Sometimes it works because they merely chose to stay. Sometimes it's as simple as someone extending a hand fist for an apology, or else of every hurtful word said.
Hey. Hey, Ash?
This time I glance at him, briefly, gauging the mood. Not because reconciliation's an issue for me, between us it'll never be. Somehow this is another thing I'm all too afraid to see crumble in front of me. One wrong word, this is going to end another argument, might as well stop as early as now. There's another long pause for him. during which he can't seem to figure out what to do with his hand. Again, he chooses to stuff both of his pockets and train his eyes at the now empty space between the counter. Nara noticed she has slipped back to the kitchen, maybe only two of us and everything awkward in the world at the moment. Still, Zach trudges on, a hopeful tone slipping into his voice, simply because it's the only thing he knows how to do.
Did you, get any sleep?
It's a start at least, a stiff one, but a start. At least I can offer in return is that rare honesty.
For a few hours, yeah.
Curt, brusque, announcing friendliness in it. In spite of it, Zach takes it as a sign. Relief washes over him as his shoulders relax and he releases a tense breath. Soon he's closing the distance he has put between us and flops onto the chair to my right.
I think the better question is if the dreams are pleasant. And for the record, no.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I get those a lot.
He shifts in his seat, coughs, drums his fingers on the counter for a short while, and falls silent. That's it, no apologies. Some of that short exchange is all we need. The air changes again, much like everything we've known lately. Maybe not for the better, not yet. However, it's less suffocating with less hostility and resentment. The kind where it's easy to pretend, easy to forget. Not that it's a thing that'll happen anytime soon, but what can dream? In a situation where death might be coming knocking any time, it's these little hope we cling to. It's these little things that we wish will happen again. I'm not an optimistic person by nature. Hopeful maybe, but never optimistic. I want to believe there's a way we'll live through this nightmare. It's just funny how it took all of us to spur these kind of thoughts in me. I can't even remember the last time something like this has occurred to me. For some reason, after seeing one harrowing thing after another, I've simply forgotten.
Why are you suddenly smiling like that?
Huh? Oh, no, I was just thinking about something.
Well, it better be something that'll get us out of this mess.
What makes you think I know how to fix this? Until 2 days ago, I didn't even believe a word you guys have been telling me. Zach, I function better when I'm dealing with homicide cases. Hell, feel free to throw in the usual robbery and missing persons case into the mix. I don't care. Give me a few days and I'll give you a lead. This isn't how I operate. This isn't what I'm good at. For all you know, I might even end up getting us killed. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, the fact that you're frustrated but still trying already means something, Ash. Besides, you don't make that face unless you already have an idea. It can't be any worse than this. Maybe. What's on your mind, Ash?
There really is something about Z-Man. So when Rebecca and him, I tend to share with him things I won't normally say to the other. Unlike her who pushes, sometimes with the same tenacity as her moves, Zach has a strange tendency to ease people into telling him what he wants to know. That's not what I want. Oftentimes, the question feels so subtle, it catches me off guard, with less force and more forbearance. After all, out of everyone, he's the most grounded. Really, he's like the older brother I never had, the kind you can depend on when things go sour. The kind you tell things to simply settle because he'll listen, without forcing his own opinions on them.
We still have one more lead we haven't checked. I'm gonna look into it tonight.
It doesn't take him long to put two and two together, and his calm expression abruptly dissolves to worry, the second he realizes what I meant. We've already examined the letter, read through piles of documents. There's really only one we haven't given the once-over, the mansion. Of course, Zach may not be the kind to push, but that doesn't mean he agrees with everything that comes out of my mouth. It's his way of keeping me steady on my feet throughout the years.
Hold on, didn't you tell me not to go in there? Whatever happened to stay away from Luke Wright?
You're an unarmed civilian, Zach.
And so?
So, I want you to stay here and keep yourself safe. I probably won't take too long, but I don't know what might happen. I'm not even sure if I'll find something in there. G will keep an eye on you guys. If you need anything, if that woman shows up, just holler. He'll help out, no questions asked. You don't even need to explain anything.
He's not willing to concede, not from the matter he grips his knees or the rigid set to his jaw.
I'm going with you. You can't go in there alone, Ash. I heard something. The morning I was there, I heard someone scream, and then there was a woman crying.
I remember that as well. In the end of Zach's chapter, there was a scream. It looked like Hannah's scream, but I'm not sure about the crying, though. Maybe there was crying and I just don't remember that part.
I don't know what's going on inside that mansion, but I am telling you, you shouldn't face whatever's inside alone.
Before I can stop myself, I hear breath escapes from my mouth. It's one of those times again where Zach means well, but he's completely missing the point I'm trying to make. When things take a turn for this, when he gets in the mood like this, he's almost as headstrong as Isabella. I feel better if I don't have to worry about you. How's that? Plus with Zachary, yay! There are only two ways this will end. I agree with him and take him with me, or I agree with him and drop the idea altogether. Neither appeals to me more than the other, especially when we're all desperate for answers and the way out. If all it'll take is a little more honesty to make him drop this harebrained idea, so be it.
Look, man. Bro. Z-Man. Zach. Zachary, listen. I know you only want to help.
Like hell! This ain't just about helping, Ashton! You're throwing yourself in the thick of it on your
Jesus!
own! Was your fall last night really that bad? Did you hit your head hard? I honestly can't tell if you've gone stupid or just plain suicidal.
My head's okay, Zach. But it won't stay that way if we don't do anything about this. Someone has to.
Seriously, this is already a desperate move. The longer we dally, the faster we're losing our options. Do we even have one? Looking back at it, this whole business with the ghost seems perfectly set up to drive us into a corner. Either until we lose our mind, or she gets us. It's starting to feel as if there isn't an escape. We'll already become her playthings the second Isabella found that letter. That our lives are in her hands ticks me off big time. But the idea of watching the people I care about die helplessly, more so. I'm much safer here than with me. Selfish thought, I know, born out of fear. So in case things go awry, the very last thing I want to happen is for Zach to take the fall with me. I've already made enough mistakes.
And that means it's just you.
Just me.
Suddenly he clams up. All those actions. The restless shift in his shoulders, his mouth pressing close into a tight line. Now he starts off again in a quiet tone. All gives away his real thoughts, long before two words have made out of his mouth.
I'm sure you already know about this. Maybe this is you trying to make amends, or whatever. I don't know. You're making your own decisions here. But if something happens to you, it'll be just that. There'll just be another dead body out there. Please, don't do something like this.
Don't worry. I'm not stupid enough to get myself killed. I just want things to go back to normal, Zach.
Another dead air follows at the heels of that one admission. The meaning of my words, too heavy, too striking, it stuns us into another lull. Optimism aside, we're both aware that's impossible. We're going to have to deal with the trauma right after. There will be the images, the voices whispering inside our heads, foreboding feeling. The stench of blood, gore, and death trailing after us. We may survive this, but those things, they will remain with us for a long time. One does not survive something like this without leaving something in you. Just the mere thought of what might come right after makes me dread it. What this has changed in all of us. But I suppose the outcome is more acceptable, the lesser of two evils.
3 hours.
My head snaps up and I turn to him puzzled. He's staring at his hands with a thoughtful expression, brows furrowed in deep concentration. Like he's trying to choose the right words to convey what he's about to say.
3 hours? For what?
That's more than enough time to go there, to check things, like you said, travel back here. If you don't show up here beyond that, I'm going after you.
From his tone, it sounds almost like a warning. I'm sure it's not his intention. But hearing something like that from a person like Zach, I can't help but chuckle and throw in a jibe despite how dire things are. Just like the old times.
Make that 4.
What? You said you're just gonna check things. Why would you even need that long?
Speed limit? I'm a ranked law enforcement officer, Zach. I'm supposed to set an example.
I so wanna punch you right now.
Of course, Zach never carries it out. Light moments like this is just how he is, how we are. Fortunately, G chooses the next moment to show up. He slams the flat of his palm on the counter and shooting us both a stern look. Those tones sounding nothing short of jovial. Disapproval is clear on it. It's obviously misunderstanding the situation.
Boys, drummer's nice and all. I used to watch these bloody god-awful afternoon serials with one of my brothers many, many years ago.
Oh boy, I do know what you mean.
But listen, I am not having one in my pub, alright? You two want to fight? Go out.
A pregnant pause. And without any preamble, Zach and I are both snickering, and Cheese Glower melts into confusion. We both show no signs of stopping. He simply shakes his head and turns away. What does the journal say this time? Zach's arrival interrupted Ash's conversation with G. Left alone, the two attempted to mend things between them, only for things to almost turn sour after Ashton reveals his plan to return to the mansion. His friend eventually acquiesced after Ashton agreed to a time limit. Okay, so we got ourselves a time limit. I like to think it's better this way, better that we part on light terms, so Zach won't have to see every little insecurity, every little doubt in me right now. He's seen enough. The last thing I want him to glimpse is another display of weakness. Not when he still stares at me with the same unerring confidence in his eyes. When our mirth dies down, before anything can be said further, before I change my mind, I step away from them. Giving Zach's shoulder a quick few pats, mumbling a lame excuse about taking a short nap under my breath, altogether bearing the stray thought that flashes fleeing in my head. Zach has seen me at my lowest plenty of times. Why does all of it matter now? The sun hangs lower when I stumble back into consciousness to drag myself downstairs. Around this time, the patrons usually start trickling to the main lounge until it reaches peak around midnight. Day, however, it remains thin. Considering what day it is, it isn't too worse for the kind of business she runs. What day even is this? Do we even go to the mansion at all? He has always complained about the lack of decent crown on a weak start, although he doesn't really begrudge his customers for it. No one wants to start the week with a bad case of a hangover, after all, even him. Which makes the concerned look he gives off come off as a bit too odd. The kind of danger we're in, this really puts me on the edge, even before sleep completely fades from my mind.
Something wrong, G?
She hums, but there's an undertone of annoyance in it, despite his casual and open movements. And only after he finishes wiping the tumbler and carefully settles the face down on the table does he give me an answer. The way he stares back at me honestly makes me squirm. It feels like I'm being stared down by my primary school teacher for sleeping in class again.
Nothing much. Monday's still a slow day for this place. But you might want to check on your friends, kid. Looks like one of them woke up on the wrong side of the bed while you were out.
Jeez. Another question forms in my head along with a small confused frown. Before a single syllable slips past my mouth, Rebecca's irate voice rings out from some part of the main lounge. The sound of it appears woke up on the wrong side of the bed is a complete understatement.
Alone? You know we can't just go in there.
But we don't have any other choice, Becca. There's really no other way. We have to go there. If you'll
Isabella, stop making that face. It's scary. Probably the scariest out of anyone who does the angry face.
Isabella? No.
That doesn't sound too comforting. Only once Rebecca assumes that kind of tone in an argument with Isabella, it usually ends with one of them walking out or both giving the other the silent treatment. Ah, they've been causing a ruckus. That's what's been bothering you, huh, G? It lasts for about a week at most if it's really bad, which really isn't what we need right now. I hope the bad blood from this morning will simply blow over after all of us has gotten a decent rest. I'm sure you expect things won't be the same with them as it with Zach and I. Turns out sleep isn't just what some of us need. Even G appears to understand it. In spite of his efforts to look as unconcerned as possible, there's a tense set on his shoulders. A nervous edge lingers in his eyes as occasionally flickers over where Rebecca and Isabella's voices are coming from. He doesn't want to deal with this, especially at the start of another busy week. Neither do I. Things have worked out well between them without Zach or I meddling. But the imploring gaze G directs me and leaves me with no other choice. It almost feels like he's guilting me into doing something about it. I hate that it's working.
You know how I run this pub, kid. No fist fights, no cat fights, only good booze, bad puns, and off-key singing.
Those are brilliant terms for a bar.
Go fix it before it blows up in your faces. I'd hate to throw two girls out of this place over a petty argument.
It's probably not as petty if Rebecca's already shouting like that, but I give him a nod nevertheless.
Sorry about this, G.
He hums something under his breath for an answer and waves me off, turning away and returning to his work without even another word. Even with the lack of a sizable crowd, he likes to keep busy. We're the same in that regard. Can't remain still, always has to stay moving, doing something, thinking, whatever keeps the brain at work. I'll leave him to shortly after. Rebecca's voice rings out once again, followed by Isabella's. Part of me wants to thank him for all the trouble he has taken for the people he barely even know. Once this is over, I should probably find some way. In the meantime, I have the immediate problem to fix. Gotta get to this before it turns to a shitstorm both of them will regret. And I know both of them will. For all of Isabella's complaints about Rebecca's bossy attitude, or how annoying Rebecca sometimes finds the other's childlike demeanor, it's a friendship they both cherish in their own way. Oh shit, the music kicked up again. Rebecca's already on her feet when I spot them in an almost deserted area of the pub. I'm willing to bet my entire life savings people are staying away only because of the brewing storm. Rebecca can have quite the mood when she's crossed. I can't speak for Isabella, I rarely ever see her seething. From what I've heard, it can be very unpleasant. The way she's glaring up at the red head from the seat, regardless of how much the other woman towers over her right now, already says everything. Empty plates have been left neatly piled onto the corner of the table they occupy. Conversation that's turned sour sometimes after a late lunch then. Good thing they're already done and nothing's left to be spilled. Poof! Because the next moment before I can approach to intervene, Rebecca slams the palm on her table, sends the silverware clinking sharply against the surface. Isabel flinches momentarily, we both do, but she shows no indication of surrendering in the face of Rebecca's temper. Everything escalates from there. Oh boy.
You've already gotten us in enough trouble because of this letter ghost everything.
You're blaming me again?
And you can't expect everyone to fix your mess.
You keep on putting the blame on me, but you're the one who didn't listen. All of you! If you just listened in the first place, maybe this wouldn't have happened. But you're too busy acting like you know what's best for everyone, when in fact you're the one who's being selfish.
God damn, this is getting heated.
I'm the one who's selfish, yet you're still going to do what you want anyway, even if the people around you are already beside themselves with worry. This is how you've always acted since we met, and I'm tired
Oh
of it.
jeez.
Sometimes I wish you never even came here, because all you've given us is a
Rebecca, chill already.
You know why I had to come here. My dad.
Your dad has nothing to do with this. It has always been you and your whiny, careless self that has always been the problem.
Maybe I should have stepped in earlier. Maybe I should have said something the moment Rebecca slammed the flat of her hand on the table, or the second I've entered the area. Nah, not that, damn it. What does the journal entry say this time? Oh, fuck. When Ashley showed up at the pub's main lounge again, he caught Rebecca and Isabel in the middle of an argument. Lyra insisted on going back to the mansion where the former strongly opposed. But before Ashley could step in, harsh words had already been said. Oh, fuck. Either way, it's too late to act. Harsh words have already been hurled between the two. Words more cutting than any blade, each and every one of them digging room too deep in the person they've been aimed at. For a long time, Isabella sits there in silence while Rebecca stands unmoving, arms crossed and breathing heavy. Despite the lack of words between them, they both vibrating with anger, refusing to meet the other's eyes. Ever so slowly, the atmosphere in the room turns thick and smothering. Strained air no one in the immediate vicinity, including me, dares to break, until the one at the center does so. Rebecca definitely won't. At some point in our friendship, she has grown to become a woman firm with her opinions. She's never going back down from this, nor when she knows she has a point. Isabella, on the other hand, there's always been a certain stubbornness in her. As frustrating as it is to see sometimes, it's what has gotten her through life's hardships. Perhaps even the only thing that has, and have nothing else, people tend to cling onto what they have within themselves instead. She also knows when to withdraw when the struggle turns useless, a kind of awareness almost second nature to her. When enough is enough, Isabella abruptly stands and marches towards the exit. Fast, rigid steps away from the hurting, painful words they've let fly earlier. She bumps into me in her haste, the impact nearly knocking me off my feet. Instinct kicks in the last moment and I reach out for her, grabbing her arm in a steadying grip. Surprise fills across her face, an expression mirrored by Rebecca behind her. Neither of them have noticed me. Oh, are you really gonna make me choose all of this? God damn it. I mean, Rebecca has points. If Isabella didn't pick up the letter, simply ignored it, none of this could have happened. But at the same time, Isabella's right. If they had listened to what she had to say, maybe they could have come up with a solution together way quicker. But, oh, why? Why are you making me choose to break up a friendship like this? Goddamn. Oh. You know what? Isabella, I like you. Despite the very scary faces you make, I like you. Becca, I like you too, kinda, but you're way too hot-tempered. Someone needs to bring you back down, so Isabella's side it is.
You okay?
Oh boy. Rather than answer, once her shock subsides, she merely averts her gaze and hastily wipes her tears off her cheeks, like she only noticed them in that moment. Without another word or even meeting my eyes again, she only brushes away my hand and runs off, leaving an awkward hush in her wake. Becca soon slumps on the chair Isabella has just left, gingerly reaching up to press the bridge over her nose and breathing out a ragged exhale. Arguments like this have always drained both her patience and energy, usually more than the rowdy students do, despite being no stranger to it. It's no excuse for her to say those things, though. My disapproval must be clear enough on my face. When she finally glances back at me, her exhaustion immediately shifts back to annoyance, her mouth curling down to a tight frown. Cross my arm in response, waiting, a reaction verging on instinctive in the face of her irritation. Regardless of my opinions about this, I don't say anything yet, not until she's the one willing to talk. Another minute passes while we stare at each other down, but eventually she breathes out again and relaxes her rigid posture.
What do you want, Ash? If you have something to say, just tell me, or I'm going back upstairs.
Did you really have to say it like that?
Well, how do you want me to answer her? Do you want me to just let her go there and do what she wants? I know you won't be too happy if I did that.
That's a low blow, Rebecca. Even for you. We all know she wasn't even planning on staying here this long. There was no need to bring it up if all you wanted to do was stop her.
Did you even see how she's acting? She's not a child anymore. Even my students can do better.
Becca, she'll listen if you'll just ask her properly. I know you mean well and you do have a point, but please be a little more thoughtful next time. Go think about it for a while.
By some miracle, the whole discussion ends right there. Rebecca elects to stay silent, or at least how it seems when a minute or two passes and she says nothing. Rare occurrence when she almost says has something on her mind. Only an uneasy atmosphere hangs in the air when I finally decide to remove myself from the room. She doesn't stop me. It says something inexplicable flickers momentarily in her eyes, when it quickly disappears until only a vague notion of it remains in memory. In that one exchange, I've caught a short, clear glimpse of what has shifted, of what's inevitable. So much has changed throughout the years. We'll never be the same person we once were. And if it's for the better, we've yet to know. L.A.zy descending the main lounge once I return. G's nowhere to be seen. People continue to trickle out instead of in, and by the time I get back, only 2 tables remain occupied. Soon these people too will be gone, and the whole place will be devoid of anyone. Frankly, in its current state, already lends the place entirely different vibe. Along with the soothing strum of strings and the steady beat of drums playing overhead, there's a calming sense to this, far cry from times I've been here before. And perhaps it's for this reason why Isabella's chosen this place to retreat. She sits quietly in the first corner of the room, near the table set right beside the windows. G usually keeps the curtains closed around this hour, but a small portion of it's been pulled back, revealing the busy streets outside. Late afternoon light spills right through it, outlining her small form and pulling on the surface on the table where both her arms rest. In her hands, she flips the piece of folded paper, turning it from one side to the other without any purpose. This damn thing. The letter. A small frown creases her forehead while she stares at it. Yet there's something oddly tranquil in the picture she has unknowingly painted. Something I can't bring myself to disturb, if only for a few seconds. It's one of those moments again. Rare ones. The ones where she's too still, too quiet. The complete opposite of her usual self. But it's these that often leave a mark. Not a cheery disposition or a lively attitude. Oh man, go away, notifications. Shit. These short few seconds of wordless silence, where the softest things are the lightest moments sing louder. Oh god damn it. I'm gonna quickly save and I'll be right back. And I'm back, everyone. Sorry, I just had to check if my video was still recording after the notifications popped up, and fortunately they have been. So, yeah, just let's continue onward, I guess. So, I think I've read this already. not her cheery disposition or of her lively attitude, but these short few seconds of wordless silence when the softest sighs and the slightest movements sing louder. Smallest minuscule things that tell you about the person and her strength more than any words can express. It's these that carve a vivid memory, no matter how brief it lasts. She glares at me, annoyed, and just like that, all of it melts away. Gone is the stillness, replaced quickly by the teasing and friendly jibes. Back again to what we're used to, what's easy, what's familiar, where every truth we hope to convey invariably goes unsaid between us.
You're going to destroy an important piece of evidence if you keep doing that,
She's
Belle.
far from angry. A bit upset maybe? Who wouldn't be? While I too agree with Rebecca, her words still hit below the belt. Regardless, Isabella doesn't seem like she'll start shouting at me, at least compared to every other people I've aggravated, intentional or otherwise. Some light talk may just do the trick or coax her out of this mood.
Come on. If you keep staring at the table like that, you're going to bore a hole on it. I really don't want to OG a new table. He'll pick the most expensive one and leave me begging on the streets.
She levels a quick glance at me, her expression dry and impassive enough to drain every color out of the room. It's as if I just told her a terrible joke and she's expecting there will be more of it. Really now? She needs to give me more credit than that. My jokes are funny when I want them to be.
And I really don't care. I'd even take pictures and post them online. Go away, Ash. I don't want to talk
Yeah,
right
it
now.
sounds half-hearted at best. Like what's happening has already sapped every bit of energy in her, and all that's left are the words. Pretty soon those two will lose their meaning and leave the hollow shell in their wake. It's already unusual to see her like this. Everything's already gone to shit. I'd like at least this one thing to stay normal. So somehow we manage. We continue for the better half of the hour, talking, joking, with the short, feeble responses and banter that never goes anywhere. But it's enough. In the grand scheme of things, amidst the chaos and death showering over us, it's these little inconsequential moments that matter. It's her smile, her laughter when it finally rings, easy and free of her burdens.
Okay, I have another one.
I don't want to hear it, Ashton. Go away.
No, really, listen. I know someone who talks like an owl.
Will you leave me alone if I bite and
Applause.
ask who?
And then she frowns as realization slowly dawns on her. Confusion flashes gleamingly across her face before eventually settling on a grimace.
Oh.
Suddenly she hugs her arms close to herself and looks away, perhaps in her best attempt to stay angry. To no avail. In a matter of seconds, her shoulders shake with laughter she's trying to contain.
You're awful and I really hate you. Just
It's
leave.
contagious, her mirth. Soon I'm joining her in it, briefly forgetting every problem that has piled up and continues to weigh down on us. Laughing without reservation or care until only a familiar warmth lingers, once both our amusement ebbs away. Somehow, whether these things have always come easy.
Feeling better?
A little. You're still lame.
But you're laughing right now.
Only because your humor is terrible.
Right. Keep telling yourself that. I know it's funny. And you know what? If you've kept frowning like that, your face might have cracked. That would have been really messy and
If
ugly.
glares can kill, but once she sends my way, I'll probably be dead by now. Oh, believe me, I see those glares every time in her little character sprites in the corner. I know what he means. Seeing it directed my way takes only a few quick seconds for me to realize how she might have also taken my statement. How wrong and rude might have sounded in her ears, however intentional it is. I've never been good with words, but that's never an acceptable excuse, is it? Suddenly, taking the brunt of her anger seems less complicated than correcting or explaining myself. Nevertheless, I try.
What? God, crap. Damn it, that was so not what I meant. I was just saying you look better when you're
The glare
smiling.
isn't even vain. In fact, I think it intensified like the brewing storm. In the face of it, under the sharpness of her stare and her annoyance, I do what any person with a good sense of self-preservation does. Keep my mouth shut and shift my attention elsewhere. The crowd outside looks very interesting today. Maybe I should... She
Thanks,
utters
Ash.
all of it in a voice too small, too quiet, but when I turn to her, only those words, her gratitude, resonate throughout the whole room. Not the soft clinking of silverware somewhere, nor the last strains of music fading into silence above us. It says the meaning behind her gaze as she holds mine that lingers. Steady, unflinching, and open, in the same way that she looks at me all those years ago, with bright eyes and an expression softening to a tender smile. I didn't understand it then. How easy it is for her to wear her heart on her sleeve, how she never shies away from expressing herself, even among people she barely knows. Now she can go through everything without losing herself. Now it's among the hundreds, the thousands that hang unspoken between us. Trivial little things, with worth still too big to put into words. Either because it's too early, or because there's never really a proper time. For now, though, this'll do. Until the moment itself dwindles. Until reality pulls us back in, reminding us of the things we set aside in this favor.
Isabella, about what happened with Rebecca earlier.
I should probably apologize to Becca. I know she only means well. And I said some really bad things.
Corners of her mouth quirks up, almost as if she's too ashamed of the things she said.
Don't worry, she can be pretty stubborn, but she'll listen. Especially to you.
You think?
You're one of the few people she likes. She won't stay angry for long.
She has a
Vouch
point,
for
though.
it.
Isabella freezes, and in an instant, the pleasant air around us dissipates. She shifts her attention back to her hands again, both clenched so tightly that her knuckles visibly pale.
I know, Ash. I just thought we'd find something in there. That if I go back, we'll get the answers we need. I found the letter there, so maybe, right?
It's not that I don't agree with her. Hell, I've been considering the same thing. It's the only lead we have, after all. But Rebecca also has a point I will always agree with, no matter how desperate I am. It's not going to be a simple walk in the park. Who knows what we might find in there? If she comes with me, I won't be able to guarantee her safety. She'll be in even greater danger. Hence, alone. Exactly as I've told Zach, there's a need to go back to that cursed place. I'm doing it on my own. Whether or not the rest of them agree with this plan is consequential. Their well-being is my top priority, and I'm not just about to drag them in there with me. So I tell her as much, despite determination and desperation in her eyes. Anything to keep her safe.
Forget it, Belle. You're not going back to that mansion.
Ah, damn it. Minus shit.
But Ash, what about...
This isn't up for debate. Do you really think they'll just let you in? Do you really think they'll give a damn if you walk in there carrying that stupid letter of all things?
No, but there has to be something we can tell them. Ash, they were with me during the open house. They have to know. They're in as much trouble as we are. They're living in that
Oh my
place.
god. Definitely wasn't the best thing to tell her.
That ghost woman came from there. Both her and the letter. Something's in that house, Ash. And whatever it hides might be the only thing that'll get us out of this mess.
All right. Supposing you do find an answer there. What happens? Let's say that by some dumb luck, you got inside and found something.
What if you see her again? What if she goes after you? What are you going to do?
It's not like we have any other choice. Besides, I'm pretty sure you've already thought of the same thing. Admit it.
That doesn't mean I'm going to let you run straight into trouble. What you're planning to do is risky. For you. Give it up, Isabella.
Unexpectedly, Isabella merely clams up. No resistance, no further argument like I've come to expect from her. Uncharacteristic. Just a silence that stretches far too thin, till the air in the whole room grows awkward and suffocating. Standstill that'll get us nowhere. Although if there's one thing our talk has wonderfully succeeded at, it's making me feel like a total asshole and a hypocrite. And I am, considering my plans tonight. Sure, I can tell her, but what good will it do? I already told Zach, one person is enough. Hell, simply letting someone in on the plan makes me iffy. Broadening that circle and revealing too much would just cause another pointless concern. But someone has to be aware, or at least where I'm heading off to in case things don't pan out. Expect the worst. Even if only I intended to do a quick survey of the place. In my own words, risky. Isabel doesn't need to be burdened with the worry my entire scheme entails. I like to think that yes, to some extent she understands, even if she does not entirely agree with me. Now the dilemma's clear in her. The relationship with Rebecca is mighty, low. The only ones that have been high enough so far are Isabel and Zachary, consistently. The dilemma's clear in her. Otherwise, her scowl wouldn't have a deeper set to it. Her lips wouldn't be pressed in a thin line, or her hand would no longer be balled into fists. She would have pushed that argument. If she doesn't, I know she has no lack of things to say. Maybe it's because she's already heard the same thing from Rebecca. Maybe my words have made her come to her senses. Either way, it's best that we simply leave it here for now. Stand up as soon as the footsteps shuffle from the next room, its cadence slow and hesitant. Ah, there she is. Shortly, Rebecca comes into view, clutching her hands firmly in front of her and sporting the same uncertainty in her face. She casts me a cursory look, then shifts a nervous one to Isabella. Lou studies her with an almost hopeful gleam in her eye. Your fights never did last long.
Belle, can we talk?
Interruption could
Alone?
not have come sooner, and I'm all the more glad for it. What kind of friendship I share with the two of us remains something for only the two of them, much like my own with Zach. I'm the outsider, they don't need me here. It's all the reason I need. Okay, what do they got? After scolding Rebecca for her harsh tone, a concerned Ashton followed after Isabella. He found her alone in the corner of the lounge, upset. Despite agreeing with her, he insisted she would only put herself at risk by coming back. Although she acquiesced, dismay was clear in her face. Oh boy. Murray an excuse would be to hasty exit out of the mean lounge and leave them to mend things on their own. Before Isabella can say what she's been mulling over. Before the last imploring glance she directs my way forced me to change my mind. It's another lasting image that firmly etches itself in my memory, and that spurs the conscience, among other things. I just hope I won't regret what I've chosen for myself tonight. Okay, and this is where I am gonna save. We're going to continue on in the next episode. I'm guessing we're going to be searching the mansion for clues now, but considering that Ghost is going to be after us, and Luke is probably going to be waiting out for us as well, this is all going to lead to one heck of a confrontation at the very end. But we're also close to the end too. There's only, I don't know how much is left in Ash's chapter. There's also going to be Luke's chapter. Maybe Luke can finally give us like some, I don't know, maybe details into what he is, like why he bought this mansion or what connection he has to the Ghost. Can't wait for all that to be resolved. So, without further ado, that's it for this video. Thank you all who watched. And hopefully, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.